Oh, is it working? Okay, I think it's working. Hello there, this is Three of Spades, and welcome back to Call of Duty Star Wars Galactic Warfare. Unfortunately, I could not figure out how to get the Star Wars Frontline mod working, and from what I could tell, it seems to want me to connect to some server, and since Call of Duty has all kinds of remote code execution exploit shit, I have no interest in fucking with that, so what I decided to do was get COD 4X and then see if I could figure out how to use the Star Wars Frontlines maps, because apparently they had a couple of maps that they had made that will just work with Galactic Warfare, apparently. And this is one of them. So we're gonna give it a try. Um, let me. I'm gonna go assault this time. All right. So this is a TIE fighter factory. This was apparently made by some people who wanted to uh, extend the Call of Duty Galactic Warfare mod. Um, let's add some bots. It also seems to have properly added the COD 4X, so COD 4X apparently fixes them hovering, but I don't know if they can actually move or not. Okay, it does seem to animate their legs now, but it doesn't really fix their behavior being kind of weird, so expect some more jank. It was kind of fun to just go into the normal Call of Duty maps and see what the fuck would happen. Oh, okay. That's a big death pit. They got barrels. Holy shit, was that guy flying? Didn't know Bot 5 was Mary Poppins. Fucking Merry Christmas, I guess. Where are we? We're on some red planet? Oh shit, who's shooting? He's shooting. We're over here somewhere. We're on the fucking McDonald's world. Alright, Ronald McDonald, I'm gonna go raid your TIE fighter factory. How big is your map? That's a decently sized map there, Mr. McDonald. Ooh. Can I get up here? Okay, you can mantle over that shit. Oh yeah, this is definitely an Imperial factory. Good thing there's a big timer. They got French fries for grass. This reminds me of that planet from episode 8. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. They throwing a birthday party in here? Oh, yes, they are. Okay. What the hell is on the mug? Some lady with a Russian fur hat. I don't know. They got Imperial soda. They got Jawa juice. I was telling you about the fucking Jawa juice. I knew they had it. And what they got? Is this a big fucking pizza box? Yeah, shit. They must have. This is their Imperial soda. Oh, that's fun. I don't know if I should fight the rebels or just go exploring this strange planet I've found myself on. I think I'm going to explore. Apparently, the last update for this was in 2024, and they are like another Spanish-speaking um, mod team. Oh, hold on, where is he? So, Frontlines works on their own server, which that seems a little sketchy to put a DRM in your fucking, or what basically in function is a DRM for a mod of a mod. Because it's not their mod, they just add it on top of it with a hex editor according to the description. But you can't even download it without connecting to a server in the first place, so I've got no idea. Well, okay. Oh shit. Are they just respawning here? Oh shit, they are. The guy spawned in again. It's in the fucking ground. They're over here. I think this map's a little broken. Yeah. How many I kill? 4. Alright, I'm not gonna fuck with that just yet. Okay, so I found the Imperial Pizza Party with all the soda. Gotta climb this. Oh, that's fun. I mean, it's like I showed in episode 3. Reshade would be fucking great for this, this map as well. And, this is another thing. It's just like the shading on big mountains is another thing that Call of Duty just did well. You would always have... This is a great visualization for the skyboxes in Call of Duty. They will just put big fucking shit right next to the map. Or, if it's not like right next to the map, it takes up the fucking sky. Even up to, like, up there in the fucking stratosphere. This is a great sniper spot. Like, geez Louise, this is a huge fucking map. There, let's see if I can get down. Preferably without getting killed, because this is what happens when you play as a stunt double in a Star Wars game. Great shading on that, shipping crate. It's cool. I like that too. The lighting and shading is pretty good on like metal, and then there's smoke, and then there's other shit like this that has wear and tear. It's not the highest resolution in the world, but it does look nice. And I mean, that's the thing that mostly gets games is the VRAM usage on the textures nowadays, right? So if you use lower resolution textures, like hell, Mafia 3, Halo 5, Batman Arkham Knight, Doom in 2016, Metal Gear Solid 5, tons of games just look beautiful, but they don't really have the highest resolution textures. Quantum Break's another one. And they seem to run alright. I mean, Quantum Break has its own issues with temporal anti-aliasing, which was eventually something that would bleed into a lot of games like now, where every game looks like that. But with the case of, like, Quantum Break, they actually did design that into, like, the art style of the game, where everything looks, ghosty, and time travel is, like, broken glass and mirrors and stuff. That's cool. And I wish more games would use temporal anti-aliasing like that, because that's a very constructive way to do that. Also, I don't know how the fuck these bots want to operate today, but I guess that's part of it. He's fucking Superman. Is he gonna go through the wall? I bet he is. No, he fucking bounced off. This guy's playing a different game. He's playing fucking Zuma or Tetris up there. Alright, now I think he's come back to the ground. Yeah, you just never know with these bots. Anyway, let's head over here and see what else we got. Oh, of course they have to have an Imperial delivery truck. And, big shipping crate houses. Which I actually have seen those. They're pretty nice. I haven't stayed in very many, though. Like, just very briefly I've walked into a few, but they seemed nice enough. Shipping crate, container bases. Like, that's the thing I do in Rogue Planet 2 as well. I have totally seen this shit be done before. Not just in Star Wars, or hell, not even just like that, but I've seen houses, buildings by the army, police station stuff, shipping crates, They are a useful means of architecture, but also they're, fucking shipping crates, so... How hard is it to get about, 6 slabs of metal and fucking weld them together? Not very. If we're running low on bricks and we're using Legos to build houses, I mean, wouldn't be shocked if, Lego City becomes a real fucking thing. Seen that as well. It's been pretty fascinating, literally having construction workers make fucking Lego City out of plastic blocks. Like, all those toys that get unsold at Walmart or Ollie's could probably be fucking smelted down and turned into livable houses out of fucking plastic bricks. That's an interesting thought. I never thought that shit would happen, but we are living in the fucking Twilight Zone, so opposite world is real. Illuminati, the Rockefellers, you fucking name it. Deus Ex. We're living in the Matrix, dog. You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one. Now sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad, sometimes it's blessed, and other times it's cursed. And most times it's fucking blurst, where people do something that's incredibly embarrassing, but they do it so well that you can kind of respect just how much time they spent on it. And then wonder what the fuck they're doing with their lives. And then wonder what the fuck you're doing with your life, and then proceed to just go back to Call of Duty as if nothing happened. Apparently these rebels spawn in this gutter. Is this like Geonosis or something? It probably is. It's probably Geonosis. Geonosis, but it's a little more red. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just my guess. If I bunch of shipping crates apparently, pallets anyway, boxes. They know I'm here. Let's whammy him. Take him down. Nope, that's a rebel. He's a traitor. For the Empire. They have their own helicopter pad. I guess it would be a TIE fighter pad, wouldn't it? Now we get some action. Nice. I fucking played Call of Duty Ghost there for a minute, just exploring aimlessly. They're stuck in the french fries. Can't fucking see them. Yellow grass. See, with Alien Worlds, you can't fucking assume anything. That's kind of the cool part about doing shit that's totally alien, is you can just let your imagination go totally wild. And that's the thing I like about Star Wars, is there's a simplicity to it, where every alien world is just one big biome, and that's it. And it's great for video games. Great for video games, and great for the movie, because all you need is one theme, and there you go. That's efficient, but it's also very easy to do, and it's also easy to be imaginative with that. Because you could see it as a limitation of just, oh, that's all they do on that, and then Disney decides to screw it up by having 500 different things on one world where it doesn't make any sense, according to Star Wars' own logic, which seems to be totally made up on the fly, and yeah, it totally was, and totally still is. But, I gotta find a way out of this fucking maze. There we go. Bye-bye, bitch. Let me take this. Go to the Spec Ops class next time. This fence is gonna fucking kill me. I'm also not getting kill streaks, even though I went on like a 20 fucking killing spree there. Performance isn't terrible on this yet. We'll see if that changes. Fuck, they're raiding the pizza joint. Let's hope there aren't any rebels back there. Damn it, it's out of juice. He's next to me. It's this or nothing. Alright, time to run. I have no intention of fighting those motherfuckers. They're pissed. Oh, good. There's a ladder right here. I was wondering where it was. It kind of blended into the shadow. So I'm going to climb up this if I can without preferably getting shot by rebels down on the ground. And, oh yeah, they're already shooting. We're off to a great start. Fuck. As I was saying about Star Wars, the best thing about it is just like, you know, it barely requires that much effort to just make an alien world, and it's very efficient, but it's also very imaginative, because you can just hyper-focus on that one thing and get it done. And it looks really nice, it looks very presentable, and you can use it multiple times. It's kind of what Destiny tries to do, but they don't succeed with that, where Star Wars does. I think Destiny fails with this whole reusing thing because you're not going anywhere new, even if it is the same planet. You're not doing anything interesting in these places. Nothing happens, so all it is just virtual concept art, and it doesn't amount to anything. It's just a pile of meaningless art that's pathetic. Clearly, they spent a lot of time making it, but who gives a shit when it's not fun? Even by their own standards, they don't want to play it. They used to have a motto saying, "We make games we want to play." Well, if you don't even want to play your own shit, why should anybody else? Rogue Planet 2 is a game I want to play. This is a game I want to fucking play. I would love a AAA version of this with better graphics and more features and more maps, which is actually why I'm, digging so heavy into it, right? But no, you're not allowed to have fun things, because we decided that it must come at the cost of somebody else, when that's not the truth. And clearly it isn't, because they can do this shit, multiple times without issue. They can go and do other fun stuff, but that doesn't have a problem. Meanwhile, if it's like something that has, roots in America, well, now we hate America because reasons, as discussed in prior videos. And it's just a foolish decision, because they run out of money. They clearly want to get these crowds that they've so thoroughly alienated back, and I'm like, the best way you could earn me back is by not just doing that once and showing me once that you care. You have to have commitment. You have to prove to me that you want this thing, or you want this group of people, myself included, and you have to provide good standards of quality products to those people. You have to provide a working, functional video game, or you're not getting paid. What I want, and not just me, but what fucking even the people they try to pander to want, is a working video game that's fun. You think that a transgender person wants a video game that sucks dick, treats them like they're the reason why this game doesn't work? Fuck no. Transgender person wants a fucking working video game as much as a straight dude, or an old grandma, or a black guy, or a lesbian. It don't fucking matter. We all want the same shit. So making that the priority, that's where I kind of have issues with it. Not so much that they're trying to include these people. Not a problem with that. The problem is that they're trying to throw them under the bus and make it seem like, they're doing it for their sake, when they're just using that as an excuse to consolidate power, cut cost, make a shitty half-assed video game, and then lower people's standards significantly so they don't have to put any effort into it. And then just pretend like it's okay to psychologically manipulate people, gaslight them very much into believing that any of this is alright. What makes it not okay is that it's not finished. And this was the very, disgusted reaction I think a lot of people had around 2012 when they started doing this with Windows 8, which is the appropriate reaction. You should not release an unfinished, broken thing that doesn't work, and then demand my money. Unless you're saying it's unfinished and you will finish it later, and you give a guarantee, there's a roadmap, there's a plan for this thing, and you follow through with that. I don't feel confident in buying a lot of stuff that gets updated frequently anymore, because of the way that this has been, manipulated over the past decade. It's a pattern for big companies to try and do this and say it's okay to do this thing that they know is not good, and this thing that they know is bad, and this thing that is terrible. It's very manipulative. And to pretend like it is okay is just dishonest. If you were up front, like, if Bungie was up front, they said Destiny is a game that's just a fun game where you shoot aliens and collect guns. It does not have a story, it does not have a point, and it doesn't amount to anything. Okay. Well, then I would feel a lot more comfortable if I had paid for that and played that or whatever. But they advertise it as having a great big story, and that's a M24. What the fuck? That is a light machine gun. That's a saw. That's an M249 in the Star Wars map. Well, that's the one thing I like about Modern Warfare's M249 is doesn't fuck around. But it's like the beginner's guide. Great beginner's guide, Stanley Parable, great examples. Those are games that very deliberately are kind of commentary about how we play video games, what they mean to us, why they matter, why discussions about them and thinking critically often matters, and how that can be abused and how it can go wrong. Like Coda in the beginner's guide, the whole thing is fictional, and by the end you can see that Davy was very clearly delusional throughout the game, and the whole purpose of the game was him having a mental breakdown because he felt invalidated by the success of the Stanley Parable, and he felt like what he was doing wasn't adequate because you're just walking in a line, and you know, it doesn't matter, right? He didn't know how to accept that his game was good without external validation telling him that, so he makes this Coda character tell him that he does, but ultimately it falls apart because he tainted it for this, imaginary make-believe character that you find out by the end. The Emperor will be pleased. My name is not important. What is important is my name. I like the beginner's guide. I think what's really cool about it is like the game really does a very healthy, very positive, and understandable job of discussing a lot of the merits of like games as therapy or as psychological help. A lot of people tend to, kind of abuse it and treat it like, video game is supposed to be a substitute for a parent or something. It's not, and a lot of the problems with modern video games are because parents don't do their jobs, and often that has bled into a lot of real world issues and kind of maturity crises that, since 2010, a lot of people have been dealing with, just because it's like, oh, the parent never cared, or they didn't have time, they were too busy with work. And you can only do that so many times before a child or somebody else would catch on. And yeah, I can definitely see the merit of discussing that, because it's a very serious topic that doesn't often get any attention, and gets kind of stigmatized because it's like, oh well, you didn't get any attention as a parent, or as a child. Oh, so neither did the rest of us. Get in line. That's usually what the fuck happens. And nobody tends to think about how not having a childhood can really fuck you up in the head, or having an issue with your life, going through depression, and that's the thing that the beginner's guide dealt with. And that kind of stuff, when it was that way, not every game was like that. That was fine, but now every game is like that. So it's like it kind of ultimately goes and wraps around to invalidating itself and making it seem really shitty. Now these like games as art type games are going out, and people want Call of Duty back. People want fun action games back because they're sick and tired of these stupid restrictions. Being told that they're not allowed to have fun because some person in California who made this game doesn't like fun. They tried fun. They didn't like it. Well, I like having fun. Well, fuck you. This is my game, not yours. Oh, that's a very narrow-minded way of thinking. After all, I am a Sith Lord. Hail Hydra. Thanks for watching.